Welcome, yogis. This is going to be a relatively short practice, just meant to be a bit of a reset in your day if you've been stuck in work mode or maybe you need to adjust your mood. We'll get into some breath work and some movement that'll help us release anything that feels stuck or weighing us down. So we'll get straight away into it, into forward fold. So come to the top of your mat and have the feet at least hips distance apart and maybe even a bit wider for this one. And we're going to come straight away into very bent knees, letting the upper body waterfall over the legs, and especially feeling the crown of the head start to pour down. And then you've got options for your arms. You can just let them hang, or if it feels better to you, maybe grabbing a hold of opposite elbows, just to help us get that feeling of drawing the upper body down even more. Start to really tune into your breath, the possibility of lengthening on every inhale through the legs, through the spine. And on the exhale, dropping even more the weight of the head down. We might even play with a little bit of movement through the head, a very gentle sway. And if we could just imagine like a little opening at the crown of the head, a portal through which you can let out any thoughts that are weighing you down. Any distractions that are keeping you from enjoying your breath, let's shake that out now. Feel the way that you're grounded beneath your feet. We can even spread the toes and pressing into each of the four corners of each foot. And from that anchored place in your feet, maybe feel as if we can lift the sit bones just a bit more. Don't feel like you have to straighten the legs, but if you are working toward that, instead of jamming your knees back, let's think about that, pressing down into the feet and reaching higher through the sits bones. Open mouth, exhale. Huge part of that idea of a reset is using the breath, inviting new energy. And feeling the release on the exhale, open mouth. One more. Full inhale. Create space. And exhale, let go. Let's drop the arms heavily if they're not already in that hanging position. And as we roll up nice and slow, bending through the knees, realigning through your spine, rolling the shoulders back. Good, and feeling your palms spin to face forward. Drawing the shoulder blades down your back, feeling a lift up through the crown of the head, and just feeling as if someone is just gently pulling your wrists down toward the ground, getting those shoulders to relax out of your ears. Let's bring the palms to heart center. Often the thing that helps us really adjust our mood, reset our focus, is just to draw in some gratitude. So in this moment, wherever you're standing, whatever you've been doing, can you find some gratitude associated with that? For the way your breath moves freely. Let's take another breath, inviting in that gratitude. And exhale, dropping the arms to your sides. We'll reach up really nice and tall. And then kind of like what you might have done in your forward fold, bend your elbows, grab a hold of opposite elbows. We're gonna maintain that slightly wider position for the feet so they're at least hips distance, maybe a touch wider. Go up through both elbows and get yourself nice and tall. And then as if you're pulling with this right hand, we're gonna go up through the left elbow and over to the right. So just yawning open your left side. And feel how the head is framed by the arms. We're gonna try and keep that position. And we'll keep moving over to the right. You're just gonna feel like you're tracing a big circle with your upper body, letting yourself draw down and around through that forward fold position, and then over to the right, circling all the way back up, keeping the head centered as best you can, and then again, down to the right, passing through that forward fold position. Knees can be slightly bent, and then back up. Beautiful. Let's do one more in this rotation. Pausing at the top. If you want to, you could switch the cross of your arms if you feel that makes a difference. We'll go up through the right elbow like you're pulling a bit with your left hand. Open up your right side waist. Even feels you can breathe a little more into that right side. And then we'll keep pulling over to the left this time and around. Making 3 of those big circles. So just feel you've got a really steady base in the feet. And we feel some fluid movement in the upper body, front, back, side to side. Once more around. Pausing at the top. Nice work. Arms to the sky. And then slowly coming again into your forward fold. Letting ourselves lengthen again. And this time, let's walk the hands a bit more forward. So really lengthen the spine almost towards your halfway up position. Left hand is going to go somewhere in the middle in front of you. Bend your left knee a lot. If you can, keep the right leg a little bit straighter. We're just going to trace the outer strip of your right leg and send the right arm to the sky. Open up your chest. So it's as if we want to feel the outer right hip drawing up and back. Long line through both arms. And then slowly releasing the right hand down. Let's switch. So the right knee bends a lot. Place your right hand down. Just tracing that outer line of your left leg and eventually stretching the left arm up toward the sky. Your chest turns. Exhale, we come back to center. Let's find a little flow with that. Right leg straight as the right arm reaches. Your left knee can be really bent. Return to center. Both knees bend in the transition. And then left leg straightens as the left arm reaches up. One more, just feeling your breath lead the way so that as you inhale, we can expand across the chest, get some good space into that outer right hip. Exhale, release center. Last time, last side, opening up. And coming back down. This time, all breath out, maybe working toward that straighter line in the backs of the legs. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Planting your palms, stepping the feet back. And then bringing the knees down. Good, release the tops of the feet down. And let's start to send the hips toward the wrists. If this is too much for your low back, then you're just gonna come down so that more of your belly is supported by the ground. But if we can stay here, let's just turn slowly and look over the right shoulder as you send your left shoulder more forward. So just adding a little bit of turn. And then switch, looking over your left shoulder, right shoulder comes forward. Take that a few more times, just these slow movements to help us move any energy that's stuck, anything that's stagnant that feels like it's weighing us down in our bodies and our minds. One more each side. Beautiful. Back to center. Maintain your Cobra, or if you're up here with me, now press more into the tops of the feet so the legs lift away from the ground and we find the shape of upward facing dog. Letting the gaze get lifted a bit more. Shoulders pull back out of the ears. And then drawing the hips high and back, downward facing dog. Spread fingers. Feel the hips high. And we'll start to invite the heels to soften back and down. Taking one more breath. Let's start to walk the feet toward the hands. Lifting up part way, finding that length in your spine. Exhale, all breath out. Inhale, reaching upwards. And hands come back to heart center. Nice work. Let's balance on the right leg. We're just gonna step the left foot back and find a high lunge. Right knee is bent. If you need to have a little bend in your left leg, that's fine. Arms to the sky. Feel the steadiness again in your legs, keeping you grounded here. We can feel like we're stretching back through the left heel, but at the same time, bring your left hip just a little bit more forward. Beautiful. Breathing in here. As you exhale, we're going to bend the elbows. Let your palms face forward so we get that cactus-like position in the arms. More boost across the front of the chest. This is the breath in. As you exhale, press your palms forward, lean over that right thigh. Keep the lower body exactly as it is. We just flow the upper body. Inhale, drawing back. Big invitation. What do you need more of? And as you exhale, let something go. Breathing it out. 3 more times, and really see if you can make this more about the breath, the exchange of something fresh and new coming in, the release of something that's not serving you. Legs don't change. One more, open yourself up. And exhale, big breath out, press. Hold it there. Feel your hands press forward, your left heel reach back. And then hands meet the mat. You can step the back toes up a little bit and let's move towards straightening the right leg. And maybe that means maintaining a little bend in the right knee. Feel the press of both feet. And just being mindful of how you want to place your back foot. I tend to like toes pointing forward because I get a nice calf stretch back there. But if you want more traditional, let the left toes angle out a bit more to the left. And if you've got the space, maybe last breath or two, we're going to bring the right toes to flex up and point toward the sky. Keep feeling the outer right hip pull back. Nice work. Release the sole of the right foot back down. So now we're going to lift the left heel up. Just to pay good attention to the transition. Hands come down. We're going to try and keep the right leg straight as we bring it all the way back into your 3-leg dog. And then we let that left heel sink down. Let the left heel drop. Find reach upwards through your right heel. And then slowly bringing the right foot to the mat. Let's shift forward into plank. Slowly lower into your version of push-up. Maybe the knees come down to support you. Cobra or upward facing dog. And back into downward facing dog. 2 breaths. We'll inhale, step or hop forward. Lengthen through the spine. Press down into the feet. And slowly find your way into fold. Let's breathe in, big circle through the arms. Length through all sides of the body, front, back, side, side. Bringing the hands back in toward the heart, connecting to that gratitude space. Make more space for it. Enjoying this breath, the movement of the body. This time when we step back, it'll be the right foot that steps back. So we can find lunge with the left knee forward. So remember, we're going to be here for a little bit in the legs, so take your time to build up your lunge. Right heel drawing back, but at the same time, your right hip, maybe angling just a little bit more forward. Arms up when you're ready, breathing in. Exhale, let's bend the elbows, spin the palms to face forward. So almost feel like the bottom tips of the shoulder blades drawing closer together. We breathe in, lean back. Exhale, press away. Steady in the legs. Inhale, drawing back. And exhale. So as you breathe in, that feeling of pulling into yourself, pulling in around you, what do you need? One more, take it in. Press away. Hold there for a moment. And then as the hands come down, we can adjust the feet, maybe narrowing your stance a little bit to straighten the left leg more. Decide how you want to place the back foot. Right toe is angling out a little bit or staying with that point straight ahead. And instead of really bowing the upper body down, it's kind of nice to think about keeping your spine parallel to the ground to really feel the length in the spine. Imagine like a wall right in front of you. You could just gently press the crown of your head against and pull the hips back, especially your left hip. Maybe spending the last couple of breaths here with the left toes angling up. Right, so you'd be flexing at your left ankle. And then we shift in the feet. So the left foot comes down. Pick up your right heel a lot. That'll help us find some space. As the hands come down, we're going to try and keep the left leg straight. As we draw it all the way up, three-leg dog, let the right heel sink. Now keep lifting through the left leg. Slowly bringing it down, cruise forward into your plank. Vinyasa of your choice, chaturanga, maybe with the knees down. Cobra or upward facing dog. And back, downward facing dog. Just a couple more poses. And just allowing the breath to really emphasize that idea of a reset. In fact, let's do a lion's breath. We're going to breathe in really big together. Inhale. When you exhale, stick out your tongue, open mouth, exhale. And we'll slowly draw the knees down. Let's just get a little bit more into the shoulders in case that's a place you're holding tension. Let your hands walk out away from you as the hips stay high above the knees. Into our puppy dog. Let your chest melt down. Forehead down to the ground might be nice for some people, the chin. Let the under shoulders melt back and down. And then from there, just shifting the hips back toward the heels, child's pose. So we feel more support under the upper body. Again, forehead rest. Let the weight of the head be supported by the ground, by the earth. Coming back into your breath, coming back into what's peaceful, what's enjoyable in this moment. And just give yourself 3 more breaths here. When you breathe in, feel like you're breathing 360 degrees. So not just into the chest, but also into the backs of the lungs, into the side ribs, even up and down. The top of your next inhale, take a pause, feel that space. Breathe out, open mouth. And let's slowly just bring yourselves up to a seated position. You can stay on your knees or come into cross-legged seat. And just a moment to bring hands together in front of the heart to close the eyes. Feel the warmth of gratitude behind your hands and your heart center. Feeling yourself refreshed. Maybe a little closer to your best self. Last breath in together. And exhale, drop the chin to your chest. I hope that helps realign your day or evening. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.